I'm Barry Lewis, filling in for Tracy Baxter with today's edition of Record NewsWatch. The looming debate over the future of the shuttered Orange County Government Center has become framed as a choice between two costly options: either completely overhaul the 41-year-old complex or demolish and replace it. As County Executive Ed Diana prepares to lease long-term quarters for displaced employees, there's a question if the county could avoid a huge construction expense by simply keeping workers in their new locations and dispensing with the government center altogether. A new report on the county's construction options shows the cost for a new government center at $136 million versus $103 million for building upgrades. By contrast, leasing offices on nearby Matthews Street in the village of Goshen could cost less than $1 million a year. For more on this, read Chris McKenna's special report, Do We Need a New Government Center?, in Wednesday's Times Herald Record. We also want to hear your opinion on this. Just go to recordonline.com. Also, visit recordonline.com for a list of locations where government services are available. Members of FEMA were joined by state and local officials in Unionville Monday to do a preliminary assessment of the damage done to roads, fire departments, and other publicly owned places. Another assessment team will evaluate damage to individuals' private property, as many residents lost cars, hot water heaters, and refrigerators.
They need to come out, and see. And I've implored, particularly Hayworth's office, to get out here. I did see on her website she did send a letter to the governor. I saw the letter to the president, the form letter that they send, asking for the individual assistance, for our county. But this is devastating, devastating to a number of families here across the way and across, across our street. This is just, 1,000 times worse than what Irene did.
Dumpsters have been provided to residents at no charge for their destroyed personal items.
So place dumpsters in strategic areas throughout the village to assist everyone in the village that's been affected. Not only those people that were flooded out of their homes, but those people that were had their basements flooded as well. That have to write all that off. So we did the best we could, and we're still continuing to do the best we can, having Assemblywoman Gunther and some other dignitaries in town today. We just want to make sure that we dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
The village will have a fundraising dinner Saturday at the firehouse. Some are calling it a nicotine addict's dream, but officials in New York might call it a revenue nightmare. A cigarette-making machine that could crank out cartons of smokes for $25, about a quarter of what you'd pay for a carton in either New York or Pennsylvania. The operators of Tobacco King and Smokes to Go in Matamoros, located just over the New York border, have two such rolling machines, and they plan to expand and add more. Customers feed loose tobacco and paper through openings on top and then at the front, then click 3 buttons to start the process, which takes about 8 minutes. The feds want retailers to pay manufacturing taxes. A spokesman for New York's Department of Taxation and Finance says it has no problem with its citizens journeying to the Keystone State for a tobacco buy, as long as they buy no more than 2 cartons. Sullivan County's long struggle for casino gaming might have taken a positive turn this week, with word that Governor Andrew Cuomo, Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver, and Senate Majority Leader Dean Scalos that would all back a constitutional amendment for legalized gaming. State leaders supposedly shared their gaming support with a New York Post columnist. Such amendment would have to pass the state legislature in 2012 and again in 2013, and then be approved by voters in a statewide referendum. But support for all 3 leaders of a constitutional change, which is backed by the state's racinos, including at Monticello, was considered crucial. New York only allows slot-like video games in racinos and Native American gambling on Indian reservations. State Senator John Bonisic, who is holding hearings around the state on how many casinos should be authorized, plans to introduce an amendment during next year's legislative session after consulting with leaders in the Assembly. You'll want to keep an umbrella handy the rest of the week, as the forecast calls for the chance of scattered showers. Tuesday night, expect mostly cloudy skies with a low around 53. On Wednesday, scattered showers possible, mainly late afternoon, with highs near 72. Thursday, a chance of showers and afternoon thunderstorms, highs in the low 70s. Stay on top of what's happening up to the minute here at Record Online and get all the news in detail when you pick up tomorrow's Times Herald Record. For Record NewsWatch, I'm Barry Lewis.